Hey guys, I'm Annie Designs and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the dreaded con crunch and how to avoid it. For those unaware what the con crunch is, it's when cosplayers are finishing their costumes very last minute, probably pulling all-nighters and rushing to finish their costumes in time for the convention. I've seen friends finishing costumes in hotel rooms the day before they need to actually wear the costume. I've seen people pulling all-nighters for almost 2 weeks in a row, which is not very healthy. So let's talk about ways to avoid getting in that position at all. Let's talk about avoiding con crunch. This may seem a little unbelievable, but I've actually never experienced personally going through con crunch. I'm not someone who has ever had to pull all-nighters for cosplay. I'm not someone who has ever had to spend over 24 hours in a row working on something. Sure, I've helped friends finish things in the hotel rooms before, but that's because I wasn't personally crunching myself. So I'm going to be explaining ways that I've personally avoided con crunch and ways that I suggest you try to avoid con crunch. First and foremost, you're gonna want to plan your projects ahead of time. Whenever you have an idea for a new cosplay, think about when you can do it, when will work in your schedule. Start thinking of your projects far in advance. That way there you can start looking for pieces and all the fabrics, materials, and notions you're gonna need way ahead of time so that when it comes time to actually making it, you have everything all ready because, well, you already knew you were gonna be making that costume, so you already started gathering things for it. It's easier to commit to a costume and to a project when you know you're gonna be doing it way ahead of time and you already have started collecting things for it. Second piece of advice is plan a limited amount of projects. It is perfectly okay to re-wear costumes to a con, so you do not have to wear 3 brand new costumes per con weekend. That's crazy. You will absolutely drive yourself insane, your stress levels will get out of hand, and you are not going to be in a very good state of mind at the con. So, limit your amount of projects. Think of the different projects you've made in the past and wear some of those. It's okay to do that, and actually most people like it when people rewear costumes because some people wear a costume once and you never see it again, and people who missed out on seeing it will never see it. Number 3 is scheduling. Whenever it's time for you to start a new project, you have all your materials, you're ready to go, start to think how long each section of the costume will take. List every little step you're gonna have to do to make that costume, and next to that, write how long you think that part's going to take. And then at the end, you can add up all those days and hours worth, and then add an extra week and a half, because you never know when you're gonna bump into a few mistakes or maybe something's harder than expected, and then suddenly you have a time frame for how long this costume is estimated to take. Now, this is not exactly a foolproof plan. People can estimate too high, too low, but especially when you add that extra week and a half, even if you estimate too little time, you're probably gonna be a little better off. This way there, you can actually schedule your time with your calendar. Look at what you have coming up. Do you have a whole bunch of different obligations, different things you're going to, or different cons you're going to, things that will interrupt your crafting time? Well, suddenly you have the amount of time it's gonna take, and if it takes you more time than you have on your schedule or on your calendar, I would not recommend going to do that project because then you're gonna be crunching like crazy. So map out, make yourself a schedule, and work with that schedule. Use that to motivate you to keep on going with the project. Motivate you to not con crunch. Personally, I schedule and make little schedules and calendars for almost all of my bigger projects, especially competition pieces or for group projects, to make sure that I can get those important pieces done on time. Those kind of projects usually take priority for me because, again, they're commitments. They're things that I've planned for a long time. So I always use this method, and it really helps me with keeping on top of everything and with motivation. And a lot of my friends who have been avoiding con crunch recently also been using this method, and it really helps. Really, really helps. Have your plan and you have your schedule. Next up, start your project early. Just because you've mapped out how much time it's gonna take doesn't mean you have to start in the time frame it's gonna take before the con. Start as early as you can. Even if you finished a project, and now you're like, okay, my next project's gonna be this. I have everything ready to go for it. When will I start? Start as soon as you can. Even if you feel like you need a little break, that's okay. But start as soon as you're capable of starting. That way there, you're probably going to enjoy the process of making the costume a lot more. Think of it this way. when you have 2 weeks to make the costume, you're pulling all-nighters, you're not going to be enjoying that crafting time. And cosplay is both fun to wear and to make. So if you take your time, start super early, you're going to enjoy the project a lot more. And plus, it's probably gonna turn out way better because you've taken your time at it. And this way there, you're not spending like 10-hour days working on it. Maybe you're just spending 2 hours here and there before you're seriously starting to get into the groove of making this costume. It is more fun to leisurely make it, to relaxedly make the costume than it is to do it in 24-hour spans or the week before the con. And finally, I want to share some advice in case you do end up being in a con crunch situation. First off, take breaks. Even though you're rushing, you're going to need to take breaks. Otherwise, your mental and physical health is going to suffer, and you're not going to have a good time at the con, and you're probably going to get sick at the con from all the all-nighters you've pulled. Also, gotta remember that cosplay is for fun. If you're rushing everything and getting yourself physically or mentally sick over it, it's not going to be fun anymore. It is okay to not finish a costume in time for the con. Even if you had commitments before, I'm sure your friends who you're in a cosplay group with would much prefer you being happy and healthy than being sick in your hotel room the entire weekend or completely stressed out and having nervous breakdowns at the con. Trust me, if they're a good friend, they're going to understand, even if it's for a competition. As much as it sucks to not be able to finish a costume in time, it is okay to not finish one and just rewear something else you've made before. Your mental health is a lot more important than finishing a costume in time. Cosplay is for fun, and the moment it doesn't become fun, it starts becoming stressful, it's going to start impacting your health. And no one wants that. Absolutely no one. None of your cosplay friends want to see you push yourself to the point of exhaustion and mental breakdowns. So these have been some of my tips on avoiding con crunch and a few little tips on in case you find yourself in the situation. Hopefully these are a little bit of help to some of you, and I hope that 2020 can be the year of a little less con crunch and a lot more happy, healthy people at conventions. So thank you so much for watching, and remember to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next cosplay tips video.